Welcome back to the Vandy Sports Podcast. I'm Joey Dwyer here after Vanderbilt's 97-84 win over 15th ranked Arkansas. It's Vanderbilt's first ranked win of the season, and one that comes at a timely part of the season for Vanderbilt. They were on the verge of going 1-3 in SEC play, going into a tough stretch of SEC play on a 3-game losing streak, but Vanderbilt finds a way in this one, and it's a win that says a lot about Vanderbilt. It's a team that comes in, they're young, but they are super talented. They make you defend on an island, and they make you uncomfortable. Vanderbilt seemed like they made Arkansas more uncomfortable than Vanderbilt was, though, and that was certainly an accomplishment for them. And it looked like Vanderbilt was staying with Arkansas, but as the first half got a little bit chippy, Vanderbilt fell to as much as 9 after 7 technical free throws from Arkansas. Ricky Council knocked a few of those down. Anthony Black got that and one, and it looked like Vanderbilt was all but done. Their back was against the wall, but they come out in the second half behind this huge crowd at Memorial Gymnasium tonight. One of the better crowds I've seen here, and certainly the most impactful crowd of the season, despite the big Arkansas section. Seemed like Vanderbilt really had the student body behind them. They took it personally when Anthony Black tried to step over Quentin Malloy-Brown and Ezra Monroe and got ejected. Vanderbilt seemed to do the same. Jerry Stackhouse talked about how his team is veteran-led, and they did that tonight. They showed that they are veteran-led. He said by the time he got in the locker room, they were already ready to come back out and play. And it certainly showed. Vanderbilt got out to a hot stretch offensively, started 4 for 4 from 3, hit 6 second-half threes, and that was really the difference, just how Vanderbilt responded to this game and kind of the grit they showed, just the fight they showed. And they've done that a few times this year. When Stack got ejected versus VCU, Vanderbilt came out and just played their tail off for a few minutes after, although they fell short in the end. Today, they weren't going to let that be the story. They were going to come out and fight their tail off in the second half. They were going to let the crowd propel them to a win, and that certainly happened. Jerry Stackhouse described the crowd as unbelievable tonight, and Vanderbilt was unbelievable as well. It seemed like the chippiness would get to them. They fell, like I said, but as they come out in the second half, just on fire. They look like a completely different team. The defensive intensity was there. Anthony Black was rattled the entire second half by this Vanderbilt crowd. The student section was booing him every time he got the ball, and that's something you don't see a whole lot in the college game, but it was affected tonight. And Black only had 3 points in the second half as opposed to 15 in the second half. So huge night for Vanderbilt, and a lot of it was on the back of the students. Jordan Wright said after the game that the students played just as much of a factor, and the crowd in general played just as much of a factor as they did. I think he's given them maybe a little too much credit, but they were certainly a piece of this game, and one that took Arkansas's best player, arguably their best player, out of this game to an extent, and made him uncomfortable. He turned it over 4 times in the second half after not turning it over at all in the first half. So this was one for Vanderbilt that they really needed, and they went into Memorial Gymnasium, played like their tails were on fire. Jerry Stackhouse said they played their butts off, and he's correct. Tyrin Lawrence had 22, Miles Studi had 15, Robbins had 14. Even though he didn't play most of the first half, he was a huge spark for them as well in the second. Started the second half, actually. Hasn't done that a whole lot this year, but came out, started the second half, got a few easy buckets, and although he got into foul trouble late, was still a huge factor for this team. Even when Robbins got in foul trouble late, Dort came into the game, and I thought that was really interesting to see that he was getting those minutes down the stretch. Stack seemed to say that QMB would get all those, but Dort came out and played some big-time minutes for Vanderbilt. May not have been as effective as he was at Tennessee, but certainly showed some positive signs again, and Vanderbilt as a whole did as well. Even without their best point guard, maybe not their starting point guard, but without Ezra Monroe, Vanderbilt found a way to win this game and found a way to look like they had their point guard. And Trey Thomas certainly was a big part of them making that up. Trey Thomas had 3 threes tonight, 9 points, but hit 3 timely threes in the second half, and was just a huge piece of what Vanderbilt wanted to do tonight. The guard play was phenomenal from Vanderbilt throughout the second half against a team that has some great guard play of their own. Ricky Council is one of the better guards in the SEC. Stack said that a few days ago. Anthony Black showed what he can be offensively and why he is an NBA prospect early in the first half, and then as Vanderbilt got down the stretch, it looked like their guards were just as good. Trey Thomas, like I said, Tyrin Lawrence had a huge night. That was really under the radar. Even with everything happening, Tyrin Lawrence just, man, did he look good, and he looked like what Jerry Stackhouse thought he would be in the offseason. Still, maybe not the full finished product, but has really shown what he can be, and was their leading scorer in this game. Doesn't get a lot of the shine today, but was tremendous, even against some of those more athletic guards that Arkansas has, and some of those switchable guys that they had. Tyrin Lawrence came out and was huge early on as well. Most of what happened was in the second half, and that's fair that people say that, but Tyrin Lawrence came out flushed a dunk on a fast break for Vanderbilt's first points of the day. Had 7 of their first 8 or 9, and really just got them going, and then hit free throws late. And Vanderbilt did that as a whole tremendously. They went 29 for 36 from the line, and this is a team that hasn't shot the ball that well from the line. They did it tonight. They were tremendous from the line, and tremendous from 3 as well. Hit 10 threes. Stack said that 7 or 8, I think, is what he said was a good number for them. And today they hit 10 against one of the better defenses in the country, and that's how you beat a team like that. And that's how Vanderbilt's going to have to do it. They're going to have to come out with energy like they did in the second half today. I don't know if that's completely realistic every night, but they're going to have to hit the 3 ball like they did today, or at least a comparable level. Arkansas is more athletic. They have NBA players on their team, but Vanderbilt hitting the 3 ball really propelled them back in this game and equalized it. And that's kind of the story of the night in terms of what you're looking for from an X's and O's perspective. Is Vanderbilt's got to emphasize the 3 ball. They got to hit the 3 ball at a higher level, and they did that tonight. The veteran leadership was there, the fight was there, but the 3 ball was really what propelled them. As time went on, Liam Robbins said it's huge, and he's certainly correct there. But Vanderbilt had a big night tonight. Can they build on it? Seems like Jerry Stackhouse thinks so, and that's something that's going to have to happen. There's certainly a lot to build on tonight, though. You see the crowd, you see kind of how Vanderbilt shot it, how that result can be maybe repeatable, because it wasn't like out-of-body performances from anyone in particular. It was kind of a balanced attack. The 3 ball was hit at a high level. They defended, and that's kind of what the blueprint for this team seems to be. They want to be balanced in every aspect, and they were that tonight. And they were player-led. They were veteran-led by Quentin Brown, Jordan Wright, and Liam Robbins, and certainly an encouraging night for Vanderbilt. Not much that they could have done better tonight, and you're going to have those nights. For Vanderbilt, it was a great sign that it happened against the top 15 team in the country. As they look to build their resume, they now have a quad 1 win on their resume, pretty much indisputably, and it's certainly something they can build on going forward. I think it says a lot about this team's fight, their toughness, just that they, even after the ejection of Ezra Monyon, their point guard, kind of the head of their snake defensively, they actually improved defensively. They gave up 42 second half points, but the shooting percentages were not that great. Vanderbilt shot almost 70% in the second half as well, and shot, I think, 66% from 3, so a lot to like offensively, and I think offensively is probably the bigger story than defensively, but the defense certainly stepped up to the plate in the second half and complemented the offense that was red hot. Vanderbilt had probably their best half of the season in the second half tonight, and that came on both ends. So certainly a lot to like tonight from Vanderbilt, and a lot to build on as well. It seemed like balanced, they fought, and the crowd was behind them. If the crowd can continue to be behind them, this is a team that can do a lot of good things throughout the rest of the year. We're kind of at a crossroads here. Is Vanderbilt going to go forward and play like this more often? Are they going to beat teams that you originally thought were out of their league? Or are they going to go back to staying with these teams for 38 minutes and falling like they did at Mizzou or like they did at Tennessee? It's going to be huge here down the stretch to see how Vanderbilt does that, not only for the rest of the season's results, but in terms of how this program moves forward in the future. So big night for Vanderbilt. They're going to have more like these, and tonight they certainly showed signs that they can do that. So thank you guys for watching. Read our work at vandysports.com, and God bless. Peace.